last year on 15th October for the confirmation of charges hearing of Joseph Kony to take place in his absence should he not appear. A lawyer for Joseph Kony was appointed within that period, Mr. Peter Haynes, and to ensure that Joseph Kony's rights are respected, his interests are maintained, and in the interest of justice, he requested more time to ensure he prepares himself more effectively for the confirmation of charges hearing. As a result, the judges deferred the date, the confirmation of charges hearing, without setting a specific commencement date. On 12 December, they officially set the date for Kony's confirmation to take place on 9th September 2025. And in that same order, the judges instructed us, the registry, particularly the outreach, to ensure that we put together a communication campaign strategy as an effort for Joseph Kony to be aware of this new date that has been set, 9 September 2025, this year. And we have been around engaging with different stakeholders in this whole exercise called notification efforts, so that through the media, through our interactions with the communities where we have been to over the last days, the campaigns were carried out in Central African Republic, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, in South Sudan. Joseph Kony would have the possibility to be aware that a confirmation of charges hearing against him will commence on 9 September 2025 in his absence should he not appear. The Office of the Prosecutor also requested that this confirmation of charges hearing could take place in Uganda, either in Gulu here or in Lira, and instructed the registry to carry out an assessment, a feasibility assessment, first to determine the physical structure of the courtroom in Gulu and Lira, as well as the security situation, because these are practical modalities that need to be assessed to be able to see whether or not it will be a viable option to have the confirmation of charges hearing in his absence in northern Uganda, either in Gulu or in Lira. And also the costs. What would be the cost implication to hold such a hearing in northern Uganda, or either in Gulu or in Lira? This is not a decision in terms of concretely where the hearing will take place, but this has been requested for by the Office of the Prosecutor, and the judges will make the determination after a thorough assessment of different modalities that will be submitted to them for possible consideration. So these are the two important developments that have occurred since the last time we met here in November, and we thought as partners we should let you know that this is going to happen. And if anything changes between now and 9 September, as always, we shall let you know. The crimes for which Joseph Kony stands before the court or will be expected to face are 36 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity, particularly in respect to 8 locations, former IDP camps. The 4 IDP camps in the case of Dominic Ongwen are included. We've talked about this before: Abok, Lukodi, Pajule, and Odek. And in addition, 4 other locations or sites are included in this case: Abia, Balonio, Pagak, and Luala, in respect to the abduction of more than 100 girls at the Luala Secondary School. And all of these crimes fall within the context or the scope after 1st July 2002, when the Rome Statute effectively became functional. And these crimes also include murder, rape, enslavement, deportation, attack on the civilian population, two specific crimes, systematic crimes or systemic crimes, or we call thematic crimes, also relate to the abduction and use of children under the age of 18 in active hostilities, gender and sexual related crimes, and all of these cover northern Uganda. They are not specific to the 8 locations, but they cover all of northern Uganda. A confirmation of charges hearing, by now we know, is not a trial. It is a preliminary step to ensure the judges are satisfied the prosecutor has presented substantial evidence to determine that indeed Joseph Kony may have committed the crimes. If the charges are confirmed, which is a possibility or possible outcome, the charges can be confirmed, the charges can be declined by the judges, or they could ask the prosecutor to amend the charges if they determine that probably the evidence the prosecutor has provided during the confirmation of charges hearing is pointing to a crime different from what is charged and different from what is contained in the evidence. It is not a trial and the outcome is not a guilty or no guilty verdict. If the charges are confirmed, the case will be submitted for trial. But a trial cannot happen in the absence of a suspect. This is why it is different from the confirmation of charges hearing, which could occur, and it's provided for in the Rome Statute, that if a suspect is deemed unavailable or not been able to found, and which is the determination of the judges, Joseph Kony, the judges considered, based on everything presented, he's a person that cannot be found. Efforts have been made to secure his appearance or surrender. He's aware of the charges against him and is aware of the initial date that was set for the confirmation of charges hearing. And now we are making all efforts to ensure he's aware of the new date that has been set, which is 9 September 2025, for the commencement of the hearing in his absence. The lawyer for Mr. Kony does not know his whereabouts. The court does not know the whereabouts of Kony. He remains a fugitive, having evaded justice or arrest or surrender for the last 19 years since his arrest warrant was issued. This means he will not be receiving instructions from Joseph Kony, as it will be in a situation where the suspect can be reached or is available. But his role there during the confirmation of charges hearing, in the absence of Joseph Kony, is to protect his interest and the right to ensure a fair and transparent proceeding occurring in the absence of a suspect. If Dominic Ongwen appears, Joseph Kony, I beg your pardon, if he appears and he decides that he wants to terminate the services of the lawyer who has been appointed by the court, Mr. Peter Haynes, it is his right to do so. But that can only happen if he is present to determine a lawyer of his own choosing from a list of counsel that the ICC maintains. So for the moment, he is ensuring that his rights are protected, are preserved, the integrity of the proceedings are upheld throughout, and that's why he asked for more time. So from last year, when the confirmation was supposed to have taken place, to this year, it's almost about a period of 1 year that has been granted to allow him sufficient time to look into the evidence, maybe to recruit more staff to expand his team, to get a team of investigators to evaluate the evidence, to assess it in readiness for the confirmation of charges hearing, scheduled for 9th September 2025, and we don't know where they will take place at the moment, whether in The Hague or in Uganda. It is something that the judges will determine and communicate, and will do the needful. The purpose of this gathering here today is to send the message as wide as possible to potentially reach Joseph Kony to be aware that the confirmation of charges hearing is taking place in his absence should he not appear on 9 September 2025. Thank you very much.